Warzone is known for updates that are not needed and make no sense, so I wanted to compile a list of 15 massive downgrades from Warzone's history that should have never happened. Number 1. Removing self-revives from the buy station. Now this change is fairly new as of the Black Ops 7 integration of Warzone, and to be honest, this change makes me very sad. Self-revives have been in buy stations since the game first came out, and now it's not in the buy station anymore. I have no idea why they made this change. Literally nobody asked for this, and it didn't affect the game whatsoever. Number 2. The removal of redeploy balloons. These redeploy balloons were like zip lines that shoot you up into the sky, letting you traversal the map in the fastest way possible. But however, one day during Black Ops 6, they decided to remove these redeploy balloons out the game for no reason whatsoever, and this one low-key made me upset, because why remove such a fun and good feature to the game? This change absolutely made no sense, but hopefully they can add this back in the future. Number 3. Weapon attachments. Before the Black Ops 6 integration of Warzone used to have some pretty cool and interesting attachments. Take an example from Modern Warfare 3 with the aftermarket parts. These were basically attachments that could change the way how your gun worked. For an example, you could turn your AR into a literal SMG, and there was so much variety and interesting combos you could make with your loadouts. This was such a cool addition to the game they made. However, whenever we got both the Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 integration of Warzone, we got some pretty boring attachments for the guns that came with it. I feel like the developers just literally stopped caring about the guns and just made them boring now. Hopefully in the future, we could see this return to Warzone, as it made the game way more interesting. Number 4. Prestige camos. The prestige camos we have nowadays in Black Ops 7 aren't really that cool enough compared to what we got in Modern Warfare 3. These camos were some of the best camos we ever got. All the camos such as One Trick, Obsidian, Mercury, and Constellation's End were all so fire. Not to mention, it was so easy to get these camos. Literally anyone can get these camos without being a challenge. All you literally have to do is play the game and get XP on your gun, then you unlock the camos. With Black Ops 7, you have to prestige your gun 5 to 6 times all the way up to level 250, which theoretically sounds easy, but me personally, I would just rather play the game not caring than having to check every time when I fully prestige my gun just to prestige it again. Number 5. Emotes. And this one breaks my heart, but back in Warzone 1, we used to have these cool emotes and hand gestures that were so cool and made the game more interactive. This added way more personality to the game and it was honestly so cool still moving around while doing the hand gesture. But nowadays, we have these Fortnite-like emotes that are third person that lock you into place so you can't move. And these are honestly probably the worst design of emotes we could have gotten. And I would much rather have the old hand gestures back. Hopefully they can add this back into the game as it made the game more interactive and had more character. Number 6. And this is a big one. Graphic change. I'm noticing a trend with Warzone that whenever there's a new integration of Warzone, the graphics significantly get worse over time. Like back in Warzone 1, the game used to look so vibrant, the details and overall atmosphere of the game looked great. For an example, the Rebirth Island skybox in Warzone 1 looked amazing. With the blue sky and the sunset later on in the game's lifespan, this map looked amazing. But now a few more years later in Black Ops 7, the Rebirth skybox is very yellow and dull. And now you see new games coming out like Arc Raiders for example, with good graphics that look aesthetically pleasing. And it's like Call of Duty, what are we doing? A lot of people might ask, why do you care about graphics or how the game looks? Well, when we compare it to Modern Warfare 19, a game that came out in literally 2019, obviously, it looked the best out of the COD franchise in my opinion. And with new technology coming out later in the year since the release of that game being 5 years ago, shouldn't the game theoretically get better graphics? It doesn't make any sense how Warzone should be downgrading in graphics when there's newer technology out. We're going the complete opposite when it comes to game graphics, but hopefully when Modern Warfare 4 comes out, they can fix this. Number 7. Movement. Although we're all used to the new movement nowadays, the old movement just felt so much smoother. Sure, technically it is worse, but the feeling of it was absolutely amazing in almost every single way. The movement felt very fluid and you could do movement text like bunny hopping, which, oh my god, I have no idea why they haven't added this back into the game. This was such a game changer for most people, and it made movement feel very rewarding once you learn how to do it. This is one of the things I missed about old Warzone. If you played back then, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The old movement was absolutely peak. Number 8. Stems. I put this here because it ties directly with the last one. The stems back in Warzone 1 used to give you extra movement speed for a couple seconds, but these were absolutely broken, don't get me wrong, but they were so fun to use. These alone made the game very fun if you guys know how to use these correctly. They kind of brought this back into Modern Warfare 3, but it wasn't good as before. But then they added it to Black Ops 6 and it was completely broken as before in Warzone 1. But out of nowhere, they nerfed it so much over and over again to the point where stems were basically useless in my opinion. Number 9. The overall engine of the game. Back in Warzone 1 with the Modern Warfare 2019 engine, the game felt very smooth, which included the movement, gunplay, and overall feel of the game. The engine felt perfect in my opinion. However, I feel like everything went wrong when Warzone 2 came out. This is honestly the worst engine we ever seen in Warzone history. It was very clunky and slow, and overall the game did not feel good. Luckily, Warzone 3 fixed it again and the engine felt great. But now Black Ops 7, the engine just feels mid in my opinion. It's not bad, but it's also not good either. I hope Warzone can find a perfect balance in the engine system where we could get that old Modern Warfare 2019 feel again. Number 10. Content creator skins. During Warzone 2, we've seen the introduction of the first content creator skins in Call of Duty, which included the Tim the Tammet and Nick Merckx bundle. And this is honestly such a cool addition from Call of Duty Duty to do this, but however, one day it all came crashing down with the Nick Mercs incident, where I would not be talking about in this video. But yeah, this incident basically led Call of Duty to remove the Tim the Time skin as well, and we've never seen any content creators being added to the game again. However, this incident happened many years ago, and I feel like Call of Duty should re-add content creators back into the game. It doesn't have to be the previous creators we had in the game. It could be different people like Swag or Lucky Chama, for example. I hope Call of Duty can re-add these content creators back into the game, as it would make the game have more personality and care about more about the creators. Number 11, creator codes. This basically ties in with the last one, but back in Modern Warfare 2019 Warzone, Call of Duty used to have a support a creator code system in the store, which meant you could use your favorite content creators code in the store and it will help support them. I have no idea why they removed this for future CODs, as it was a good way to support creators when you're already buying something, which is a win-win for both the game and the creator, but hopefully Call of Duty can add this feature back into the game. Number 12, the lack of content in the game. Ever since Modern Warfare 3 Warzone, I feel like the developers have taken a step back from adding cool content to the game or content in general. It feels like nowadays the developers don't really care anymore and only add 2 guns every season to keep the content going, which is them obviously being lazy, let's be honest. I understand Black Ops 7 just came out and all, but all they added so far was a map and a new selection of guns, and that was about it. This is not enough content to keep the player base going, as it would make people bored and want more. Black Ops 6 Warzone didn't really have any content compared to the other games. It just felt like they didn't try at all. Hopefully Black Ops 7 in the future can turn this around and make some pretty cool updates to the game that will keep people happy. Number 13, map updates. This also ties in with the last one. The overall updates a map receives in this game is terrible in my opinion. Almost every single map feels the same and they don't add anything at all. Luckily Warzone kind of listened and they're gonna add new updates to the map Rebirth Island with some snow and some new POIs, which they haven't added a new POI to that map in literal years, but they are finally going to add something. Number 14, weapon balancing. Back in Warzone 1, the weapon balancing wasn't that great, don't get me wrong, but it was definitely better compared to now. Now in Black Ops 7 Warzone, they make the newer game's guns, that being Black Ops 7, way too overpowered compared to the older COD guns. Like for example, Modern Warfare 2's guns are pretty much unusable in today's state of Warzone. You will literally get destroyed by a Black Ops 7 gun every single time. I get it's hard to balance, what is it, over 240 guns in the game, across from 4 different games, but why keep adding more guns and integrations in the same game knowing you can't balance them all? That's been an issue since the beginning of Warzone. Luckily Modern Warfare 4 will be the hard reset for Warzone, so I'm very excited to see what that's going to be like. Number 15, the voice chat moderation. Back when voice chat was fairly new to Warzone, there wasn't really much voice chat moderation back then, and you could pretty much say whatever you want. Don't get me wrong, I think voice chat moderation should be a thing, as it prevents players from saying some very bad stuff, but nowadays in Warzone and COD in general, voice chat moderation is now handled by AI, which detects you if you say anything remotely bad, which is honestly so dumb in my opinion. You could easily get banned from voice chat simply because you said a curse word, which kind of defeats the purpose of Call of Duty's voice chat, as the game was based on the toxicity which made the Call of Duty special from other games. What do you think is the biggest downgraded Warzone's history? YouTube thinks you might like this video, so come check this out and see if they're right.